welcome to Sims, Witches, and Warlocks. So, we're gonna jump right into it this week, but before I do that, I want to just briefly explain what happened in the last episode. Was pretty much, Ambrose and them went over to the magical realm. They bought some supplies, they've seen the magical realm, they've dueled a couple people, just to show kind of Ambrose what was truly going on in the magical realm. We met a couple of the sages as well, but Ambrose did start showing signs that he could be going down a darker path for his magical powers, but he seems to be hiding some stuff from Newt and all everybody else, and that's definitely not a good thing. But one thing in particular he did not mention in the last episode that he did was get the Tomb of Minion Eyes, which means he'll be able to control the minds of certain Sims. And he's bought it and he's planning on reading it, but he doesn't, like, nobody else knows. Also in the last episode, we had our final person join the family, which was Fatia here. She is going to be like she's not really a witch, but she wants to be a witch, and she more so helps with like knowledge and stuff like that of being witchcraft, because her family does come from a witching family. However, she herself has never actually been a witch because she did not get the trait. So that is why. But she helps with potions, and she's more like an emotional support person for Ambrose and all that. But in this episode, in addition to that, he's learned Minion Eyes. So that's definitely not a good thing. But Newt and Jack are talking now. Like, Newt's like, I honestly think that there's something off about Ambrose lately. Ever since he's kind of got the thing, he's kind of been a little bit off. And since he's been taken there, I think that we definitely need to say something to him about it. And Jack's like, I really can't. I have this thing, and I've been really trying to talk with Fatia about. And so, and I've been really trying to get it in with Fatia, because I really like her, and she's helped me for quite some time with my depression and stuff. So he's like, could you talk to him? And so Newt is going to be the one that talks to him, which as soon as I figure out where he went to. Oh, he's right there, duh. Okay, so, we need to add him to a group, because we're both going to come, like, right here. Go here together. And then he's going to tell him that they know that something bad is going on in his head, and they need to talk about it. So he's going to say, I know something is going on, and all that. And Newt is like, listen, we're just worried about you, that's all. We're not trying to make you feel any sort of way about it. And he's like, what are you even doing? He just used the Minion Eyes trait on him. And he just told him to go to sleep. So he's just pretty much used a spell on him that's like a bad spell, like pretty much to make him his servant. And pretty much he has to do whatever he tells him to do, which is definitely not a good sign for what is going on with Ambrose. We don't exactly know what's going on with Ambrose quite yet, but I think Jack and him were on board, and now Newt is kind of feeling dazed and all that, so he's very sleepy because these guys and all that. Now Jack and him are talking like that was weird. He just kind of all of a sudden wants a bed. And he's like, he said he was tired. He told me what was going on, and that was it. So Ambrose is definitely showing a little bit of shadiness here. We don't know exactly why. We will figure that out very soon, but just like, I also have a favor to ask of you, if you don't mind. Azrael's coming, and in addition to her coming here, she's challenged me to a duel, or one of us to a duel, and she said if we win, she will just leave us alone, period, and leave everybody alone. But if we lose, then she said somebody's going to have to pay. And I don't want to see that happen, and I know you don't want to see that happen. So I was wondering if you'd be willing to be the one that duels her. And so Ambrose is indeed going to be the one that officially duels with Azrael here. And so he's got to introduce himself, because apparently they don't know each other, which I don't understand how, because they are related. But so these guys know what's about to go down. But so Azrael knows, and she's like, so are you the one that I'm dueling? And he's like, yes, I'm the one that's dueling you. We're gonna duel for knowledge. So they're dueling. And the duel is going to take place here, I guess. And these guys are going to... See, she doesn't have to use her thing. So far, though, looks like Ambrose is definitely the perfect pick to duel with someone evil like Azrael, who has spells and all that, because she's a demon. But Azrael just beat Ambrose, which is definitely not a good sign. And she's like, so, you want to go again? And this time, it's for real. So, she said, why don't we do this again? And if you win, we'll just call it off. And if you don't win, then someone in the family will be gone for good. So Ambrose definitely has to win this one. If not, then these guys are definitely screwed. Ambrose won 1 and she won 1, so you might as well do a tiebreaker. She taught him Scrubberoo, by the way, so that's good. We'll do one final duel to determine the actual winner, since they both won one duel apiece. And this is the final showdown, guys. So this is the important one. So the important one is about to happen. And this is the final showdown, guys. So here we go with the final showdown. So Ambrose won the final duel, which means Azrael now has to leave the family for good. Now Ambrose is going to tell her to pretty much get lost because she now has to leave everybody alone because that was the deal. And Ambrose beat her twice, she beat Ambrose once. So that it was the deal. He also learned Reparo too, so she was able to teach him some things as well, but so, with that said now, the final showdown is gone. Azrael cannot mess with the family anymore. And she's not taking it well. She's not taking it well. However, she's trying to do it well for everybody else. But there's one thing that these guys need to talk about, that they've been actually hiding something, that these guys have actually been working together for quite some time. And that is why he's starting to show a little bit of the darkness inside of him, because she's given him some training as well, and he's training her as well. And nobody really knows anything because Fatia is over here reading her book, minding her own business. Newt is pretty much under Ambrose's spell, and Jack is just like in his own world right now. So nobody knows what's truly going on. And I mean, Jack's kind of seeing this, but he thinks that they're dueling. And Fatia's seeing it as well. But I think Fatia might know that there's a little bit something off as well. So Fatia's seen what happened. So now Ambrose is doing the go to sleep spell on her as well, because that way she won't remember any of this. So now he pretty much enslaved pretty much both Newt and Fatia, which Jack doesn't know a thing about. And only time will tell what will exactly happen. But these two are definitely up to no good. And Azrael's kind of playing it off like, oh yeah, since he beat me, I decided that since we are family, I'll be sticking around and all that. And Jack's like,